Hello and welcome to another episode of Duos and Destiny, where two famous YouTubers are here to play Dungeons and Dragons for your entertainment.
Who's here?
Oh my gosh, is that Brandon from Duos and Destiny? I'm Logan from Duos and Destiny. I don't know why he didn't introduce me. That's kind of rude, and that's what I was anticipating.
You really didn't give me a chance, I'll be honest with you. You kind of just kept talking in your sentence.
But
Wait,
you're supposed to go right. It was, yeah, exactly. See?
is that really you?
You know, here, I'll
Logan? Oh my gosh, can you sign this? I'm going to get this tattooed on my chest later.
go ahead and keep that. Don't sell it. And then, you know what?
But is Brandon here? He's way more handsome.
You just
Better
missed him.
looking,
Just missed him.
taller,
Yeah.
mysterious.
Much larger forehead, according to the comment.
Dang.
Oh, anyways, thank you so much for indulging in our fantasies as we play our own fantasies here,
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons,
Fantasies
in the
about my small
form,
forehead.
in the form of a Spelljammer-based campaign, homebrewed by me, yours truly, the Dungeon Master, Logan. We'd like to give a very special shout out to two people. One is Jason Wardell of In the Vast Forest on Spotify and Bandcamp. You can hear his music in the background right now. All that music is made by him and published on Spotify Bandcamp for your entertainment. So definitely go check him out. Listen to it just as much as I do, so you too can be a 1% listener of In the Vast Forest on Spotify and Bandcamp. And then otherwise, while you're checking people out for us, definitely go to Instagram and check out Roll for Sketching. She does all of our custom character artwork, be that from the logos to the avatars to the character artwork itself. Everything she does great. So you'll see time-lapse videos of some of the creations. You'll see just pictures of things that she's made for our campaign, other campaigns. Reach out to her, get your commissioned artwork, and tell her that Duos and Destiny sent you. Other than that, we'll go over to the infamous Brandon.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Brandon, as you very well know, because I'm such a famous, popular YouTuber that I have one fan. And thank you, and welcome back to episode number 61 of Commander's Log. We are so happy and pleased to have you here. As you can tell, Logan is ecstatic. We are pumped to be here today. With that being said, if you haven't already, and you've made it through 61 episodes, go follow us on some socials. We'd appreciate it. You know how that goes. Go follow us. In the description, we have all the links for Facebook, YouTube, which you might be on, or Spotify, TikTok, and Instagram. And if you feel so inclined and you enjoy what we do here over at Duos and Destiny, we have the link for our Patreon down below as well, where there's a lot of options over there. And there's some really cool things we also do on that side as well to make it really worth your while. Without that, we don't really have any further announcements today, other than we're here to play Dungeons & Dragons.
We are
And so last time, on Commander's Log,
Commander's Log.
episode 60 was a continuation of what the previous two before that were, and the fights roared on. More fire, more flames, more battling, and through it all, lost friendships, mentorships, some devious actions were had by people outside of Karson, of course.
Of course.
As Karson is being corrected in his ways, he's after he got called out, and he's kind of understanding his path now. But the fight ended. The Dust Devils began to retreat as we kind of started to put a hammer down on their assets. Like we destroyed almost every single runner, if I'm not mistaken, besides maybe one or two. We were really starting to put a hurt on like one or two skitters total, but we probably would have been able to sabotage at least a handful of them if the fight would have continued. And I think they kind of realized the fight was not going in their way, as the skitters are strong and powerful, but in the grand scheme of things, if things get on inside and are doing havoc, not for the best. So they took off. We had just started taking off and kind of reconvened all the parties involved, from the Scorpion ships to the Wasp ships to we did pick up one extra skitter, so now we do have two skitters, and then that'd be it at that point. Reconvened, And if I can retcon, I'd say that just help the skidders out a little bit. I guess we could divide the people being so stuffed on one skidder into the other one too, just to make that life a little bit easier.
Yeah, you could definitely make it a lot more comfortable for everybody involved, because otherwise everybody was just kind of
jam-packed, like sardines in a can.
Absolutely.
But at the very end of that was a very tough conversation between Karson and Seamus, and I will leave that one up to you to have watched if you haven't.
Yep.
So with that further, sir, back to you, my dear friend.
And that's right where we're going to pick up. It is very late into the evening on the 26th of Mintier. You'd spent almost the entire day traveling down here, and then the entire evening fighting. As the sun sinks low, the fires behind blaze on. You see the harvesters that you had pulled free and kind of helped them reconvene in their own locations. They've spread back out and are trying to deal with as much of the fires as they possibly can to salvage whatever it is. You guys have kind of set yourself off to let everybody gather their bearings, spread out between the vehicles that you do have to be able to transport them back, and then you can chart your path to whatever the next step is from there, which leads me to pass it over to you. What are your next steps?
As I return to the wash ship with Zage, I'm going to go find him.
Okay.
And pull Pizer with because he's with me.
Yep.
So as I get down to Zage and make it to the jamming helm. Okay, we need to make a fast decision. We have to make a quick one. The lives that we've just saved, do we think they're all trustworthy? Do we think that we can show them the safe house, show them the safe haven, and trust that neither one of those decisions, by saving them or bringing them back there, will bite us in the ass?
It'd be a lot of people to vet, just to make sure that they're okay to be entering into the sanctuary, essentially. Might not be a bad idea if we just deposit them outside of Cerulean and let them know that if they seek help, they'll find it. And then we can kind of wash our hands of it, you know? They have their freedom. If they want to go return it to something else, we can tell them what to look for. Possibly have a clandestine location where they can meet individually and slowly be accumulated into the larger part of the hidden people.
That's a great option. Pizer?
I don't know what else you do with them. I don't think it'd be a good idea just to drop them off straight into the center of operations. All it takes is one person to slip away for a little bit extra coin, and then everything we've worked for is busted.
Perfect. I'm going to try to find Brent. Maybe you can... He was on one of the skidders, or was he on one of the scorpions?
I thought we left him back.
Brent?
Yes.
I thought he came with us when we left.
I cannot remember.
Did any of the council members not come?
Let me see.
Because he's a fighter, via, isn't he? To a certain extent, like he's like
He is capable.
a capable man.
I did not have any notes
Okay.
saying that they came with us.
Okay.
I think several of them did stay behind to at least manage the resources that we had accumulated from the recent acquisition of the skitter.
I thought when we saw them going, I thought he was coming for some reason, but maybe I'm mistaken. Let's go to the outside of town. Kind of where we had set the barricades and traps on, and we will release them there. And then we probably should have a pretty quick talk with the council.
Yes. Do we tell them anything? Like where to look for help, or...
We will tell them that we will be in contact with them soon. We will have whatever food and water that we can muster, we will bring. We brought ample amounts when we brought the ships down, remember? So we'll have some to bring up to them pretty quickly. Anything that we can spare, blankets, pillows, clothing that's needed. Whatever we can spare, we'll bring up. We'll meet with them, and then we'll kind of pass that off to the council to start taking over. I think that at this point, we've done a strong enough job of allowing these individuals to get their foot in the right place. My main concern here, and maybe this is now the time to hash this out, my main concern here is everything we've done has been very grand for these people. It's worked very well. But it's time consuming.
And we came here for a reason.
We did. For a very big reason. And I'm not quite sure that that's being put to the forefront like it should be at this moment. We know that Zage, last time you had looked at the Ori, asking where ships were heading. Oh, I did ships and L's together. So now they're now known as the Askinori shelves.
Yep. Fear them.
Floating
So
shelves.
they will
through
store
space.
everything that you need.
They were floating through, away from us now, but that means they're on to something else. And it's at the back of my mind every day for these last couple of weeks. I've been worrying about it.
I didn't bring the orrery with me here, but it is back at the sanctuary, back in Cerulean. Probably would not be a bad idea if we
First order maybe to check that when we have a
Yes.
moment to be private.
give it another glance.
The other coin of that is I kind of feel like the farms would be a great place for us to set up.
Away from the city.
Yes, we'd have food. There at least is water. We can still work directly with these individuals from Sir Leon, the council and such. They'd be able to maybe even move the safe haven out there. I think all three of us would be in agreement that with the amount of ships and firepower that would be sitting outside of that farm, I don't think the Dust Devils would be that brave.
No, I think what they showed was their show of power.
And if that's it, we would take 30 seconds to show ours.
Yes. It's not an insignificant force by any means, but they're terrestrial.
Limited technology makes a difference.
It does.
We are blessed to be in the position that we are. The cannon on the Starhammer would absolutely demolish, and they would have they couldn't do anything.
No. What do we do with the harvesters then?
Well, that's the question is whether we take them out.
Now or
I don't think now. I mean, a day isn't going to make a difference, I don't think. 2 days.
no? It'll only allow them to slightly stand back up, but
They're so wounded, I don't know that there's much. I mean, by my counts, 100 or so individuals. I mean, at the same time, we'd overpower them very quickly.
yes.
I guess we could also give them an opportunity. It doesn't sound like the harvesters were really that bad unless I'm just misunderstanding. But the previous Greaves wasn't necessarily to this same evil as this current one is. He might not have been the nicest guy, but he still kind of, from my understanding, took care of the walks of life.
I think you're onto something. The city was not always
Yes.
in this much turmoil as it was. It used to be more prosperous, but at the same time, the harvesters also held all of those people against their will and forced them to work.
Oh, that's a very valid point. I was kind of not paying attention to that.
I don't think many people are innocent here,
Yeah.
except for the people that did not want to be working.
Yeah.
And who knows, even them. We might be just dealing with a population that does not have their morals straightened out.
So what does one do? It feels wrong to go in there and just start slaughtering them.
No kidding.
We could escort them out. We don't take it over. I do think that is probably one of the prime locations.
Yes, the other option, there's very few. Just the Oasis itself, Cerulean, were there so far. Unless you just wanted to pitch a tent out in the desert and hope for the best.
It just doesn't seem like that'd be a very smart idea, right?
No, far from it.
Being able to power with the people from Cerulean, and maybe those people join forces with us and help us fight in the rebellion, and most of them start to leave this place in general. But I think that show of force working together would mean more than working independently.
I agree.
And maybe that's a conversation to have with the council and see what they say.
See if we can get more people on our side
Yes,
before just getting rid of more people.
correct. Okay. Well, Zayd, show me your piloting skills and drop me down on the skidder. And for sake of brevity, I will go and since we have plenty of time, I guess technically hours, if Zayd can just hopscotch me between each ship. Really, it's just important for the skidders. We'll tell them where to land, which those individuals would know where to go anyways because they helped with that setting up that pre-barricade that one time. We were hoping to funnel them in, drop them over there with skidders, and then the rest of them go to the garage. Excuse me, I couldn't think of the word. And then I kind of want to beeline it as fast as I can. Once I get finished with that, if we can take off, I don't remember if the Wasp are faster in general, if there is any, but if we can just take off, we'll just beeline it straight for the garage to get down to the safe haven.
Okay.
As quickly as possible to a meeting with council.
Yeah. If you needed to, if you got out of the atmosphere and jammed over and then back down, basically like a quick boom, boom, it'd be like taking the turnpike as opposed to taking
Oh, you're right.
inner city roads, So
Taking the turnpike with a bullet train.
exactly, yeah. So you could leave the skidders behind.
Do you have to be in the
entirely.
atmosphere to jam?
You have to be so many miles away from any obstructions. So
Okay.
pretty much just once you get right outside, to upper atmosphere.
I mean, I guess if we're traveling, 8
Yeah,
hours
you
or
can
9
become
hours,
a
whatever it
plane
was.
at that point, as
Yeah.
opposed to like a ship sailing through air currents. You're now an airplane.
Yeah.
The easiest way to think about
Okay.
it. So
Yeah. If that saves us an hour or whatever it is, it's still worth it.
Just from what I would know, our resources are spread thin on who can get us back. I myself am bordering on exhaustion. I know several of the other pilots are as well. We've been at it all day. Either we rest here tonight and go back as a group. I'd be willing to push myself to exhaustion
Yeah, I don't
to
think
get us back to Cerulean tonight. But I think the others probably ought to at least take their time. Escort the skidders, make sure there's nothing else going on. For that, we should give them the night. Get a little bit away from here. That way the harvesters don't try anything nasty. Don't want desperation to settle in.
Yes.
But,
I don't think that's a bad idea. Okay. When I get down there, I'll ward them. We'll get about 2 hours away or so, enough to where they would have no reason to think that we're still close, and allow them to rest if they want it, and then that will allow us quite a head start.
That'll work. So we will be going back to Cerulean.
If you're
tonight.
willing to do it, you can fly as well. We can take in rotation.
Yes, that'll be great.
Okay.
It won't be a far trip. Just
I guess that's true.
it'll push me past the brink. I can tell you that. But
Oh.
that's fine.
Okay. If you're up for it, I think it would be the smartest decision for us to get back as quickly as possible.
Yes. Smart, for sure.
Okay. Very good.
Okay.
Well, upward and onward, they say.
So he takes you and drops you off individually to each one of the Scorpion ships if you wanted to have one big communal meeting, whatever needs to happen. Is there anything you want to go through with that meeting?
No, I mean, I'm totally fine with just going over the next hour, jumping from ship to ship, and Zage picking me up while we're just going full speed, and
Yeah.
basically telling the skidders where to put the individuals and allow them out and show them where shelter is, and the Scorpions and the other Wasp ship can protect and guide, and then once they get to their position, get those things into the parking garage.
For sure.
Parking, quote unquote.
Okay. So you tell the people in the know where you're going to be dropping off the refugees, and that you guys are beginning to be taking the evening as rest, and making out for the very
Yeah.
first light to get back to Cerulean, and from there, drop the people off separate. Then everybody else rendezvous back into the sanctuary.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
But
Okay.
by that point, maybe we will be able to have a welcoming party ultimately too. Like if we can bust tail there.
Yeah, I would say you guys would be able to curtail the entire arrival by a full day,
Yeah.
essentially. So, okay. Anything else of business before you guys make way back to Cerulean?
No, not at the moment.
Okay.
I got to muster on the other details.
Okay. As you guys are settling in, you have your meeting. You guys escort the rest of the troop to a safe location outside of the plantations themselves. You say your goodbyes for the time being, and you, Zage, Pizor, and that one wasp ship zip up into the atmosphere and back to Cerulean. Will you make a perception check with advantage? During this whole excursion, where would you be, I guess?
Once we started jamming,
Uh-huh.
I mean, I guess I'd be inside because I mean there really wasn't that much room on the outside of the wasp ship, so
No.
it's not the same. So I'd be on the inside.
Okay.
There's not. Perception 18 minus 1, which would be 17.
Okay. Nothing of note for the evening.
Yeah.
It is a quiet evening. As you guys do jam up and over out of the atmosphere,
We're jamming.
you see into like back behind you. Obviously, the blaze of the plantation is dying down. It's starting to get somewhat managed, but still roaring. And then back towards the oasis, you do see where the pass of the skitters that had fled. There's a large dust cloud of where they seem to have gathered at some point, like a few hours away from you guys. They had journeyed further into the desert before you guys had stopped. So they're a good distance away, but you can see where they've kind of stopped just based on a large dust cloud that was kind of gathered from their movements.
Do we have that tactical nuke that I always carry with me?
Yeah, you do. Yep. But you sail high up and above the horizons, over and then drop down into Cerulean, finding in the garage. By this time, it is pushing almost midnight of the 26th. You're very tired,
Maybe a bit of that, huh?
pushing on exhaustion, but
Oh, yeah, we have to jam.
you're welcomed back into Cerulean itself and into the sanctuary.
Yeah, I go quick. I go in and council meeting. Councilors, where are the councilors at?
You find a few people standing guard, and they, bleary eyes, look to you and they say, well, it's midnight, so everybody's resting.
Can you arise them?
Sure.
Tell them to meet in
Yes.
the what'd you call it? Cistern
Yeah, that can be arranged.
with haste.
Sure, yes. Sorry, sir. And he turns around, does off with his business. You, Pizor's age.
Zage, I know you're one. Please give the Ori a quick look.
I can do that.
If there's nothing to note, we can talk tomorrow. But if there is something, please bring it back immediately. Pizor, if you don't mind accompanying him there initially. You can always bring the message. I know Zage needs his sleep. We push you. Hopefully not too far, friend. But I appreciate your willingness to get us here quickly.
I'm exhausted, but alive. I'll go take a look and report back in
Thank you.
momentarily. It doesn't take... He's probably back before the council even arrives.
Lazies.
When he does return, he lets you know that there has been movement from the Ori itself. They are... The large force of Ascanari themselves that have been kind of like combing through the Terran fields have peeled a little bit away from the Terran fields themselves, and it seems like they're following something out. You just see their blips moving away from the Terran fields themselves. And then way off in the distance, in the further outer reach planets, there are several Ascanari ships that their blips are moving inwards slowly. I'm assuming you're writing that down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, whatever it is that they're
Yeah, what
up
are they
to, their attention's not here, or even near Vistrotar, so at least in good news here.
What the heck are they following?
Who cares? Not us.
It's not our ship, is it?
Our ship?
We sent a ship to go pick up the Thrycreen.
Oh, out on Akara. Well, Akara's out here,
And he points off in a different direction.
Okay. Okay, good. Well, all that goes in my mind is we missed an opportunity maybe for some sneaky sabotage.
of
Asking Oreos. Their focus isn't on us. Would we be able to pick off a few?
I don't know.
It's behind us. Go get some rest. You need it.
You do as well.
I'll fill you in the morning.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
He departs. Eventually, the council members return to you one at a time. Let me get back to all of their names, or else.
Are they all wearing like night garments and like nightcaps?
Yeah.
For some reason, they all have like small candles on
Samson actually has like a large nightcap itself that droops down with
He
like a
would,
little
yeah.
fuzzball hanging down into his face. It's all black, but it is still a full matching pajama set. But
That's what
he
wears.
is the
He
first
wears that
one.
underneath his armor.
He is the first one to arrive, and he does come like fully kitted out, like he's ready for whatever's happening. Like combat is what he looks like he shows up ready for. The others slowly trickle out until finally you have everybody present in varying states of wokenness. Some high alert, some bleary-eyed, look like you just woke them from the middle of the night because you did. But slowly everybody is gathered, and it is your floor.
Well, I guess I should start by apologizing for waking you all up from your slumber. But these are important matters and dire straits here. We come with a fairly successful battle defending, and I use the term lightly, I guess, defending the harvesters. We were able to rescue, I'm not even quite sure the numbers, hundreds of innocent lives from the fields. We put a good hurt to the Dust Devils, destroyed several runners. We did some damage to some cicadas, and then they retreated quickly. At the current moment, we are going to be dropping off all of these lives that we saved, along with our new cicada that we now have at our disposal. 2 now. On the southwest side, where we had set up the funnel, potentially for the harvesters, if we were waiting for them at one point, where we thought they might come in. We're going to be dropping them off there. I think it's very important that we vet them before allowing them down here into the safe haven. For a harvester could have snuck on, be playing coy and could sabotage us from within, just giving information out. So they're going to drop off there. I think we should be right and offer food, water, anything else that we think that they might need from necessities. And then the proper individuals can be vetted, as there's not really many people left in the city as a whole that are not here now underneath. Takes me to the flip side of the coin. The farms are a prime location. After seeing them firsthand, I think it would be much better for us as a whole. That comes with a line of difficulty, as there is a approximately 100 harvesters that I could know of. If not, there may be some more on the buildings. Many of them were burned down. The skiers did a good job of that. But it would offer a much better life than here. The sun, food, water. That does come without protection, or at least potentially. I'd like to propose joining forces. Brent, I was very honest with you with why I came here initially, and that was to find a place to set up for our rebellion, so we had a operating base of sorts. I'd like that to be the farms as well. The show of strength, I think, would surely keep the Dust Devils away from your doors. If you caught the glimpse of what we came down on the first day, there's many of those, and larger even. I do not believe the Dust Devils would have the gusto whatsoever to even try to knock on that door. And if they did, we could have a show of power very quickly within the Oasis that would shut that down. We'd probably need to destruct buildings, whatever resources we could get. We'd have to build new buildings to a certain extent. Many of them were destroyed. I think maybe 1 to 1.5 remain, but they're going to be such severe integrity. Sorry, I went lost for words. A damage to the integrity of the buildings that I'm not sure that they're willing to stand much more. It might be a fresh start. And I know I'm talking a lot here, but that leads to the question of how you deal with the harvesters that remain. I'll be the first to say it doesn't feel right to go in and slaughter them. I know they're not good people, necessarily. Obviously not if they were holding people against their will and using them for labor. I don't know if they have much to be reasoned with, if it would make sense just to escort them and drop them off in the Oasis, drop them off in Cerulean, and we just do a swip swap and let them have at it. I think more importantly, this is a time for me to become more of a ally and a outside talking point when you guys need it. I feel that I've not intentionally but unnecessarily become a lead for the moment, and I don't want that. I think you all lot deserve it. And so I think that 7 or 9, it's an odd number, isn't it?
Of how many? Of the council?
Yeah, sorry.
There's 6.
6, 7. That's what you get.
That's what I get?
Yeah. Don't roll. The 6 of you to make the decisions and make this one. I can tell you that more than likely if you do not move to the farms, then I will probably be they will probably become accommodation for us. I felt very well about the time that I've spent here and helped you, but I do believe that I need to start back on my main task. Not that I still can't be here and help at moments when needed. You can reach out and I will be here if I can. But I've got my home to worry about too.
There's a long silence.
I sit down.
Brent clears his throat. You gave us a lot to think about here. But I, at least, understand. It is unfortunate that you will not lead us into this next stage of whatever we are. But you've gotten us this far. And you came here with a specific mission. This was not your mission. This is ours. And we should finish it as such. I, again, speaking for myself here, and we will have further discussions in the morning. But for the time being, we do need rest. I know we are spent, not just ourselves, but our forces. That excursion was everything that we had. To drive the harvesters out, we need time. We now have the resources, we just need time. Or more people. If you can help drive them out before you take off on your next adventure, that would be great. But I think I could see us moving to the plantations. This is a horrible, horrible, undefensible location that eventually is going to lead us into a trap. We are caged animals down here just waiting for discovery. The plantations are a safety. Isolation. It's far from defensible, but it's isolated to where we will know if somebody's heading our way as soon as possible. So I think we do relocate out there as soon as we can. And as for the harvesters, well, we'll decide on that too. Karson, we're indebted to you. Thank you for everything that you and everyone you've brought along, nodding to Pizor, have done. We'll meet in the morning and we'll touch base with you from then.
I will gladly help you with this last step. It's been an honor to help your people. You say you're not sure what you are now. You're not far from being your own people, your own town, your own force. I mean, if the ministers of those innocents are willing to partake and be part of your civilization here, then you're pushing 400 to 500.
We outnumber the harvesters. We have plenty of resources now. We have a chance.
You do.
To negotiate, to set up our own system of power, and ideally, restructure it.
Yes.
The Oasis is going to be a task. But that's our war, not yours.
Well, by taking part of the food source away, I think we'll drastically change those discussions quickly.
Correct. It'll be a huge help.
We will talk more in the morning. I have one potential outlier I need to check on that might really help swing this. So.
Excellent.
Well, I do apologize for waking you all up in the middle of the night, and I hope you can forgive me.
It's understood. We will speak with you in the morning.
Well, good evening, everyone.
You look exhausted. Rest.
Shoot, us? No.
I see through it, don't worry.
Pat him on the shoulder. Thank you, Brent. Pizor, you ready to crash?
Yes.
Me too. Good night, everyone. Soft bow.
The council leaves. You and Pizor can journey off to wherever you guys need. Unless you just want to go find rest, which is possible too.
Well, we had that room that we were all staying in, so I guess we'll head back to there.
Okay.
On the way back, I just go, I left Seamus. I made that choice.
I cannot say it is the best choice, but I understand. He was not making good decisions.
He was murdering people.
I think he was also helping feed into whatever it was that you were going into. I think the two of you, as weird as it sounds, were really bad for each other.
No, When they say hindsight's 2020, you are correct. Looking back on it now, I absolutely was feeding off his energy, feeding off the image that he was giving me. And I can't believe I let that darkness succumb to me, or I myself succumb to that darkness, rather. I'm ashamed. But he was outwardly looking to kill people.
He was an angry man. He's working through a lot of demons.
That's the only reason I feel like I did something wrong, that I should have helped him furthermore. But then, at what point does he become a liability?
I hate to say it, but right now he's also kind of a liability. He knows everything about everything that we've ever done since we arrived here. And he is angry at them, but now just as probably angry at us.
Paizo, why would you not have told me that sooner?
My hands were a little full at the moment. It's not like I was standing there next to you.
This is something we must take care of quickly. Whether we press the harvesters out, we find them, whether they know where they're at. If we're in the farms, then it's no big deal, right? I mean, that'll be a known fact, not an issue. Here, in this funnel, in this dastardly, dangerous place that we're sleeping right now, this is a problem.
So long as you know for a fact you left him there, I think we have time. It's not like he can walk back from there to the Oasis.
I mean, I left him. I let go of his hand. And I don't know that he could have snuck on to anything else. We were the last one to leave.
Let's hope that is the case then.
But Zage wanted them to stay and sleep there. 2 hours away. What if he did start walking back? What if he makes it there by the end of the night?
He could, yes. It's not like they're hard to follow by any means, but he might not think that. We can't guarantee those are his actions.
You're correct. You're correct. I just...
We can hope that the veil of tiredness weighs on everybody, not just us.
Okay. Let's let it be said between us at least, and we'll make it known in the morning that looking for Seamus will be a priority from all the guards, from everything. When people are getting off the ship, if we can see him, that needs to be dealt with in some fashion.
Agreed.
So, okay.
But
Let's get sleep, dear friend.
I need to sleep, yes.
Yes. May I take a long rest?
You absolutely can. There is no need for watches here. You guys take a very restful, very peaceful nap. Let me write down a couple notes. Long rest. We have made it to the 27th.
27.
I'm into here. Okay. As morning finds you, the sanctuary around you is bustling with energy. Early orders had been set out to help restructure, organize, and make room for new arrivals, as well as getting an arrival spot ready for people to hunker down, not be sitting ducks in a city that is largely abandoned. So provisions are arranged, resources are allocated, and a place for people to go for the time being is ready.
First thing in the morning.
Yep.
I'd like to ask Zage right away. Do we know who's piloting the ship to pick up the Thrycreen?
Thrycreen from where?
The planet we found them.
Oh,
We sent a ship for them.
yes. I can't remember the name of the jammer themselves, but
You know them, though. Right?
yes. Well, yeah, they were one of the top pilots. They took the Ark.
Can you send them a message?
Um,
A sending spell.
I would have to talk to Tentham, truthfully, and then he could pass the message on to them.
Did we meet them?
The jammer, no.
Yeah, okay. So Paizo wouldn't be able to send them. Okay. I'd like to see if we can get them here as quick as possible.
Diverted away from Makara? Oh, you mean grab them and bring them here directly?
Yeah, we'd already sent for the Ark.
Yes. Okay.
That
so,
Ark,
yes,
technically speaking, that Ark should be floating somewhere around Vishutar.
I'd have to go back in my notes and figure
Because
out.
we spent... Oh wow, this is a very large plot hole that I just now realized that we did. Because we sent that ship before we left for Tebos, and we spent well over a week or 10 days just alone training.
This is true. Yes, there's been a lot of time.
Yikes.
It's a 4-day journey from Vistrotar to Akara. Well, it was. I mean, the planets do move.
But we sent that ship before we even came here, remember?
That was back on the 21st of Charstil. Hold on. No, sorry. That's when we first went there. You're correct. Ignore me. Hold on. Pause. We'll get back to where we were. It looks like early of the month of Mentir, like the 4th or something, is about when we returned. And then
It's been multiple weeks.
we've been here we've been here at least since the 10th.
Oh no.
Because let me see. On the 10th of Mentir is when you guys entered into Cerulean. And you've since spent quite some time here.
Yeah, today's the 27th.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes. We've been here for some time now.
Zage, please send a message immediately to Tantham and get that ship here as fast as possible.
Oh, okay, understood. So I'll send the message right now. And he takes a step away, and you hear him muttering under his breath, sending a message. He returns to you shortly, and he says, Tantham is sending them here quickly. There's also quite a large fleet that they have ready and stationed. They've kind of just been waiting on our orders for the all clear. And
In your free time, I need you to make up some kind of a phenomenal excuse for our blatant ignorance when we get back to explain ourselves to Tantham. Until now, we'll blame it on Paizo.
what did I do?
I told you to send that message like a week ago.
I don't recall you ever telling me to.
I didn't. I'm joking.
Okay, don't do that to me. I was honestly so scared because I thought this was all on
But
me. But
I did.
you're kidding, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a show of power. There's our resources. There's our reinforcements. And there's our fresh feet on the ground.
And they could be here by tomorrow morning at the latest.
And I put my short arm on Paizo's shoulder. Paizo, I love you and the Raw Ross people. But the Thrycreen are a different level of
We
combatants.
fought because of necessity. They fought because of culture.
Yes. They're born fighting. Their whole life they study and do it. If it comes to another fight, the Thrycreen will absolutely whoop tail. Shame on us for not even thinking of this sooner.
Yes.
Gosh.
Zage pipes up at this point. He says, we might want to possibly meet the incoming forces, I don't know, midway in space, somewhere before trying to have them just plop down this might be more of a better face-to-face conversation with whoever's coming this way, as opposed to a 25-word maximum.
That's a great idea. Yes, yes, yes. Um, how long would it take you to go back to get the star hammer and come return?
That would be 2 days.
Mm.
And we can have it sent this way with the rest of that fleet, and it'd be a day. Just need to send another message.
You're right. The star hammer would be large enough. If we needed to take back some of these ships, we could take them back, i.e., the Wasp ships or the Scorpions, if we needed to.
Yes.
Excuse me.
If we have the day to rest, I suppose I'm okay spending as many of my resources sending out as many messages to Tantum to possibly avoid whatever it is.
Do we know anybody left that you would trust driving the star hammer?
I'm sure there. Personally, not many, but I'm sure Tantum probably has a few people that he'd be more than willing to spare.
Well, if so, we can always return them home here in a few days too. But I think that might be something that's.
Well, we're trying to have most of the fleet here, aren't we? So just imagine we take everybody away from Nida, the moon, and send them here, since that was our base of operations. Yes, that is the Dwarven God Navy, but
We don't want to take all of the resources that Torvengard would be completely defenseless.
Zaid starts jotting down notes, and he's kind of like figuring out how many people, how many ships, trying to run the numbers as best he can to figure out what would be best to get a resistance force here. So that way there is something concrete to ask Tantham, as opposed to, hey, send as many people as you can, to, hey,
When we had communicated with Tantum before on this, and it was because they asked how many forces from Torvengard we would need.
Yeah.
And I think we've already established a cut cold amount. This would have been
very long time
sessions
ago. Yeah.
But I don't even think I would have. I don't think I would have said over 50%.
Yeah. Okay.
So if we just cut it a line, if I did, I would be hard pressed to think that, because my number one thought would be like, you don't ever leave Vishatar defenseless and unprotected.
what about this? What if we tell people exactly? What if we have Tantham and King Hafig tell everybody from Vistrotar between New Torvengard and Rawas? What if we just have them tell exactly what's going on? That the same forces that threatened us back on Torvengard are looming in our skies right now, and it is time to form a war. It is time to start a resistance to fight back. And this is where we're doing it. We are starting here, and we need as many people and volunteers as possible to not leave Torvengard defenseless. But if they're willing to fight for their people.
See, we've touched on this before too, and this is where it gets hairy. A year ago, we forced all of our kin to move, uproot, and change their life. They're just starting to get settled again. Truly settled again. And now we want to tell them, pick up arms. You're gonna die.
Do you not think some of them expect that?
I'm not saying some of them don't. But some of them are just maybe they're just now starting the family that they wanted to. They have a good job. Their life is getting back into a normality. I mean, hell, half these people were animal and beast folk but a month ago.
And that's why people will fight. Because there is something to fight for. There's good back on Torvengard. And they wouldn't want that to go away. There'll be people just like you, just like me and Paizo here, that want to fight. That don't even just think it's an inconvenience. They're not picking up arms because they're told to. They're picking up arms because it's the right thing to do. To provide everybody the freedoms that we do have, that we've worked for, that we've gained. Those come at a price, and I think we know it.
I think we do.
I'm not going to keep saying you because it's a we now. We cannot say that this is the only thing that we've got. We are not the only ones out here to fight this. There's only so much we can do. So we have to ask for help. And now's the time.
Okay. Request Tantum sends a reasonable amount of ships that he's comfortable with to here. If he can have somebody pilot the Starhammer, we will go there after this. Maybe this conversation's a little bit more easier in person. Or if you feel like you can express it over sending for them to be able to rally the people, by all means, do so.
I have about 100 words or more. Well, let me see my resources here. Hold on, give me 2 seconds while I find this. Doing the math now. 3, 6, 7. Okay, so 7 times 25.
7 times 25?
Yes, I have 150 words. Let's see. Don't tell me that math is wrong. I have 175 words. As soon as I started adding it together, I knew it was right. I have 175 words I can communicate with. This is feasible. Just do not ask me to do too much more, because otherwise I will be spent for the day. But we can have an open line of communication for quite some time between me and Tantham. We can figure this out.
Okay.
If there's anything you need to do now, me and Tantham can sort the rest of this out.
I might go meet with the council and kind of well, there's going to be a lot of change that we didn't quite prepare them for. So I will go ahead and let them know that
Let's send a few back and forth before we meet with them. Gain some more information.
you come let me know. I'm not going to give any information once it's finished. Come let me know. I'll try to go outline maybe our next steps at the moment and preparing us for what it might look like of us going to the farms. You come give me the all clear, and then we'll let them know that we've got a Hulk.
Perfect. But I guess that is the plan of action. Zage.
Slide on my breastplate.
And
Got my duster on.
right about there is a perfect time to take a mid-episode break. So
break.
we're going to take a quick break here so we can go to the bathroom, take a drink, everything in between, and we will touch base with you guys here as we pick up the second half of our episode.
See ya.
Thanks, guys. And welcome back to the midway point of episode 61. We're jumping right back in as kind of a diplomatic episode of trying to figure out where the resources are at, where they're coming to, when they're coming, and everything in between. So
we picked off with a little bit of oversight between mostly the DM for not planning things off in the background, but the resources and troops that have been sent back from Torvengard way back to Akara to pick up the Thrycreen that you'd previously encountered, rescued, befriended. They are ready and waiting. The forces at Torvengard themselves are waiting on your word. So after there is a bit of communication between Pizor, Zage, and Tanthem themselves, everything will kind of be in working order. And we'd left off with you heading off to go talk to the council.
Yeah, and I mean, and for sake of brevity, I can just go start meandering and talking to them and getting things situated where just to kind of start figuring out what their plan was and such, and it doesn't have to be role played necessarily, but
anything important that you want to come out of that portion there?
Not until I get a head nod or something from Pizor, so him coming up to me, go, yep, everything's good, then I could fill in.
Yeah. It's probably 2 hours of backs and forth between Pizor and Tanthem before you do get that head nod. So at whatever point you think you are in those discussions, if you want to pick up with them, or if we just want to kind of sake of brevity, touch base on what they pertail, or we can skip over it, whichever.
Yeah, just brevity, take the better half. If it takes 2 hours, I'm sure that we're at that point, we're already starting to kind of align the what this welcoming party-esque looks like, for lack of a better term here, but what does it look like, and getting things moved and ready for that, I would assume.
For the score, or for the skitters to arrive.
Through, like getting resources out there, getting a handful of buildings that are probably more adequate to hold high numbers of people, and getting stuff like that set up, where you get beds set up or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Brent just asks, so in terms of vetting everybody, that is no big deal. We can slowly accumulate them into our ranks, but getting back out to the plantations, we decided that is going to be in our best efforts to get away from Cerulean, the constant threat of one day being discovered and completely wiped out. You have forces that will be going out there shortly, or
is this before or after Pizor?
After.
And I say this with the heaviness that this sentence is going to bring, but you literally have nothing to worry about anymore.
As in?
Defensively, the armada that you're going to see upon Tebos, upon the farms, alongside you, are going to be alarming. It's going to be a rude awakening, too, for most of your civilization. One of the greatest allies I've been able to create in this whole entire process. They are the Thrycreen people. They do not look like you or me. Not in the slightest. They are much more... Well, from where I come from, bug-like would be the correct way to maybe describe them. Not sure you have many insects around here with this blistering heat, besides these large beetles that always fly around, but they're tall, lengthy, and they are phenomenal warriors. Ones that are willing to risk their lives, and they would make the Dust Devils look like silly children in a fisticuff match.
So, what you're saying is, once we get our mess sorted out of all the people that we're bringing in, it's just a matter of us laying low and staying safe until it's time to move.
Yeah, in which, and that being said too, I'm bringing the Ark here, so we will theoretically be able to potentially load up your people, I think, from here. all in one shot
What?
with a bunch of resources and everything, and we could just single-handedly take it all over there. It'll have to travel slow across the lands. It's going to take... It might really... I'm just really picturing this now. It's going to really send something towards the Dust Devils, so we'll make sure we show a sign of strength when that goes to happen.
You're...
Like I said...
I don't know what an arc is, but...
Like I said, Brent, you don't have anything to worry about anymore. The only request that I'm going to have from you is that we build some type of platform sooner than later that these ships are able to park, similar to the garage we park, the runners in, or the ships are smaller ships. We need something that these larger ships are able to dock upon and hold them in place.
Oh, okay.
Some of them
Yeah, we'll
won't have to
figure
be
that out.
too tall. Now the ark is rather large. So
I'm just gonna say I'm confused, but I'm sure my confusion will...
be met with more confusion.
Perfect. Yeah.
You're a good soul, Brent.
Thank you.
I appreciate your eagerness to let me through.
Thank you for everything you've done. You've turned this whole place around, truthfully.
If you weren't so tied here, I'd probably ask you to join my ship.
Once this situation gets sorted out, I see a long, annoying career of political strife, trying to force change upon the rest of this world, making it right. This is where I belong.
Well, there is a change of heart there, and you have a sense of adventure and want. I'm sure your brain with Zage and Arifas would be unmatched. The trio, you guys could create some fantastic things.
I'm sure. I hope to create something great here.
Yeah, that is true.
I need to.
You have a very great potential for that.
Let's hope.
And I'm always here. Once this is over and I'm out, we'll set a passageway of communication in some fashion.
Good.
And if I can be, I will be here to help. And I'll stop by periodically.
I'm sure we won't be able to lean on you too heavily to fight our battles for us.
No, but if it comes to a war, and you need that, don't be hesitant. You'll have to be able to stand on your own two legs, and which I know you know that, of course. I don't mean that in any disrespectful way. But those small battles, I don't think you'll have a problem winning. And while our forces are here, they'll be able to at least protect the farms for sure. Because, of course, they'll be protecting their own at that same point. The willingness to go out of their way in order to maybe fight on the front of the Oasis and things of that nature is probably not in our cards at the moment. But doesn't mean it won't be in the future.
I don't even know if that'll be a full-out fight regardless. But we'll see. That one, that's my fight. That old battle.
And like I said, it's hard to imagine what it's going to look like 48 hours from now. But let me tell you, whatever you're thinking about, think bigger.
That makes no more sense than it did before.
Yeah,
So
I figured not.
I'll stress about other things. And then just assume some of these stresses will be lifted here soon. There's plenty on my plate as he kind of gestures to the flurry of motion and everybody getting prepared for the incoming parties. The homecoming party, I guess, if you want to call it.
Very well. What was the decision made by the council for the harvesters that remain within?
We'll give them the choice. That's what we need. That's what this place needs is amnesty, second chances, and hope. Many of these people never got a choice in the life that they lived. Be that servitude or forcing people others, we all fell into it. A lot of it was survival. Give them the choice. Tell them there's a better way. Show them there's a better way. If they want to leave, they can walk. The sands are their enemy.
I think that's very virtuous. Great choice. And I can stand behind you as you make that declaration to them. And I'd like for it to come from you. Set the standard. Just from the outside looking in, Brent, I kind of, although there might be a council of 6, there's a leader of 1. And I mean that respectfully. Your voice is strong, and many look to you.
They only look to me because I'm the front line. I've made my face known. Samson started it all, but you would never guess.
But it doesn't surprise me.
That he started it all?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Hopefully he can help finish it all, too.
we will.
Well, let's go welcome in some new faces.
I suppose so.
Very good.
Okay.
I don't know what the rest of this day really looks like.
You can help out as much as you wish. You can hang out with Pizor and Zage. You can go do your own thing. Zage spends most of his time resting. Pizor spends most of his time helping out, getting ready for whatever is to come. The time for the arrival of what you guys would anticipate, being if they woke up early in the morning, started their journey back, they probably have about 6 hours. So it'd probably be right around 4 o'clock in the afternoon by the time you'd anticipate them. By the time 4 o'clock rolls around, nothing. 5 o'clock rolls around, nothing. Everyone at the camp starts to get worried. They start pacing. Brent comes to you and he says, "Do we need to send out a party? See what's taking them so long. See if we can't scout for them."
We're 1 hour late?
Yeah.
I think I would, at an hour, I'd already be in the Chester
Okay.
and zooming.
Yeah. I'm assuming taking Pizor with
Yeah,
you. Okay.
and then yeah.
Okay. As you take to the skies and soar through the deserts, you're off in that general direction. And the very first thing you notice is that there is a small cloud of dust near like the east and the west side of the oasis of where the skitter holes that they go into. It looks like those have been recently used. Based upon the flurry of activity and the dust clouds that have been kicked up from that location, you would guess that other party just recently arrived. Far off in the distance, you and Pizor can see a small little dust cloud tramping through the dust in about roughly the same direction of what you would anticipate, but it looks like their path has gotten diverted by quite a few hundred miles. Or maybe not a few hundred miles, but quite a few miles to get diverted from what the original path would have been.
What? Okay. I mean, I'm going to fly over to them and see if I see the correct numbers.
Mm-hmm. And you do. So there are 2 skitters. You have the same amount of scorpions and wasps that made it out through the rest of the evening.
How many was that? 3 and 1.
Yes. No. Yes, because you took one of the wasps.
Yeah.
So 1 wasp, 3 scorpions, 2 skitters.
I just give you a hard time. Yeah, so I see everything's there.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll just accompany them back at that point.
Okay. Do you stop and try to have a conversation with anybody?
Not out of the chest. It
Okay.
would be pretty difficult, I think.
Cool. Yeah. No,
So-
totally fine. As you arrive to them, you can see way off in the distance, not back towards the plantations, but off on the path that you would have expected them to be. You see like a small trail of like smoke rising up from that area.
Okay, then I continue that way.
Okay.
Because I can. The Chester's much faster than all the other guys.
Mm-hmm.
So
As you zip back to try to figure out what exactly might have set them on a detour, what you come across is a wrecked field of various pieces of metal, and you see bodies strewn across everywhere. Throughout the entire portions, you can see where the sands have been disturbed, and it almost looks like there is like large pits where the sand has fallen into and refilled a hole. And as you're looking around, you see the skidders, or the wreckage that you do see is the remains of several skidders. And as you get a closer look, you see there's probably about 3 skidders total that got completely destroyed in whatever happened here. Looks like there was some kind of fight. Not really evidence of anything else aside from broken skidders and a few bodies kind of strewn out across the sand themselves.
would I be able to deduce that maybe this is something from underground?
That'd be a pretty easy assumption. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if especially if some of the skidders were looking like half out of the ground and such.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like where several of them have fallen into like pits in the sand themselves.
Sucked down a little bit or pulled in.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly.
Well, Paizo, that the gods do work in our favors.
I'm glad it is in our favor,
Yeah.
and not the other way around.
I was very nervous. Okay. We did more damage than we thought we did. My calculations, I'd only leave about 4, I think, that made it back to town.
A
Maybe
lot
5.
fewer than they came with, that's for sure.
Yeah, out of the 10 to 12.
Yeah.
All right. Let's sit back.
I see that as a huge win.
Yeah.
Okay. Returning back, when you get to Cerealion, the rest of the 2 skidders and the escorting party arrive. No issues arise out of that. You do discover that they had caught up to the wreckage of whatever it was. They had seen the smoke rising from the distance and skirted around it. They themselves did not encounter anything, but that wasp ship did go off on its own, and they could tell that there was something traveling underground that was actively pursuing the skidders themselves. And it was several somethings, and so they took the widest berth they could away from that, and then eventually found across to you guys and made their way back to Cerealion. Everything goes down without a hitch. There is a lot of tension with the new coming arrivals. There are several of the harvesters themselves that had kind of snuck into the ranks, but they get ousted pretty quickly with all the other people that were essentially their captives.
That guy used to beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're calling
Right.
each other out, and there's already been kind of a separation of people in and aboard the skidders themselves, and there's been a lot of tension through that, and have to have some separation just between the carts. But everything goes off without a hitch, and there are several, I'd probably put it at like 20 total harvesters that end up being taken away from the rest of the population of people that you guys do rescue. And over the course of the day, Brent and the rest of the council, as well as the people that have taken sanctuary, do their best to welcome in the people and try to start to get a feel and start vetting that process. So, anything for you for the rest of the day?
No, helpful hand.
Okay. It is late in the evening on the 27th there. You are taking a restful hand. It's at a downtime right around dinner where you step away and you're taking a break for yourself or anything in between. There's just a moment of solace. And you catch something out of the corner of your eye that stands out just a little odd. It looks like there are shadows that are dripping. As you're staring off into the distance, you see something fluttering your way that comes straight out of shadow itself. And then whatever it is constituted strictly of shadow. And as it's coming at you, you can see the shadow just dropping off of it like it's slowly falling apart. And it arrives in front of you. And you see in front of you a bat that is completely constructed out of shadow and flapping. And then a voice. Familiar. No, not familiar. Yes, a voice that is very familiar speaks out to you.
How?
Not Hal. Karson, I would very much so need your help at any point. I think this is the wrong accent. Karson, somewhere probably closer to here, yes. Karson, I know we did not leave on the best of terms, but...
Oh, it's Vulture Guy?
No, this would be Octavian.
What?
Yes. The voice of Octavian Crimson rings out from this bat. We did not leave on the best of terms, but I'm going to need a favor from you. Do me this one favor, and everything will be on the table. I will leave nothing behind. And then the bat flaps its wings and shoots off directly up into the sky, and it starts to melt away. And the direction that it heads towards is the moon that floats around this planet, the moon that orbits Tebos.
Insinuating that that's where I would find him. Okay. And I just wanted to come up here to watch the sunset. What? He's got to be quite dire if he wants my help. I go to the Chester and I head up there.
By yourself?
Uh-huh.
Okay. As you exit out...
I was on the parking garage, like looking out, watching the sunset.
Yeah.
Already.
Pizor had spent most of that evening just taking care of people. But in this moment of solace, as you're standing on the parking garage, Arif and Zage, off in a different corner working on the sailfish, you take to the skies in the Chester. You head directly up, and you're making way towards the moon. Once you leave the atmosphere of Tebos itself, immediately you exit out into an atmosphere that is rife with chaos. There are several small ships, probably 24 ships, zipping around in the sky above you. You see just a mixture of the ships themselves. Some of them, all of them, are very familiar makes to you. There's Wasp ships, and there's Scout Spider ships, and they're actively battling in the sky above you. Centered around the moon itself, there is a battle that is happening. From the moon, there is a smaller ship, or in reference to the moon, of course it's smaller, but the ship itself is massive. Easily probably one of the biggest ships you've seen. It's bordering on 2 times the size of one of the Arks, and what it looks like is a gigantic hive. There is several small ports that hang off the bottom like open holes. Looks exactly like a wasp nest. And you can see wasp ship themselves starting to crawl out of it and kind of drop into the sky themselves and start dispersing around, buzzing around this larger ship like a protective formation. And then back towards the moon, you see several of the Scout Spiders rising up from the horizons to meet this oncoming force. And even a few larger ships, Night Spiders, taking to the skies as well. It is to you.
Okay, refresh my memory here.
Yep.
The Wasp ships were initially Nyogi.
The Wasp ships were the Surans.
Surans.
The creatures that you had encountered.
Initially on Vishatar, long,
Yes.
super long necks. Spider ships, have I ever come across those?
The spider ships were the Nyogi, whenever you had first encountered them.
Okay.
And in that moment, as you're kind of gathering the difference between the two forces, the very first thing that strikes you with the spider ships Every single one of them sails a blood red flag, the exact same color of flag that you've seen sail on the Flight of the Living Dead, which is Octavian Crimson's own ship. On the other hand, the Surans fly the flag that you distinctly remember as blazed with the emblem that Cognan, had around his neck. That emblem of the void black starburst rimmed with red.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I see Crimson? Golly. Do I see Octavian's ship anywhere?
Make a perception check.
15?
You see two night spiders rising up, which night spiders are exactly like the scout spiders, except probably 3 times as large. They are the motherships. You see 2 of them rising up from the moon itself, and floating in between them is the very small dwarf ship in comparison to those 2, ship of the Flight of the Living Dead.
I don't really have a way to help them. Because I don't have any ships, and I won't have any ships for another 12 hours or so. As I'm certainly not going to go up there with wasp ships. That wouldn't be good.
That is true. You'd be...
Whether or not they have flags or not. Yeah.
Yeah, you would look like the enemy at that point.
Wait, yeah, so what, the Niyogi are working with Octavian?
That would be a very good assumption from
That's
what you see.
crazy. I almost died to the Niyogi. Jeez Louise, I don't know what to do. Do I think I could successfully get to Octavian's ship?
Yes, there is. This is everything right before. I would like to think of this as like a gigantic space battle at the current moment. Both forces just arrived. There is the very early onslaught of exchanges where the wasp ships and the small scout spiders are intermingling with each other on the front lines. But what I will call the hive and the moon itself are kind of like the 2 opposite bases. All the scout spiders and the night spiders are arriving up from the moon itself and kind of getting up into its atmosphere and outside of it. And then the wasp ships have invaded the atmosphere and are sitting outside of it. Think of it very similar to the battle above Endor, where the 2 forces are above the moon and everything is breaking out up above it. Small exchanges are happening in kind of like a dogfight style between wasp ships and the scout spiders.
Okay. Well, I will gun it then to Octavian's ship.
Okay, excellent. As you gun it straight towards Octavian's ship, you can see whizzing past you the shots of ballista bolts and arcane blasts that are erupting out of all the different ships. The engagement has started on the front lines at the current moment. Just based on your quick glancing towards what's going on, the scout spiders currently outnumber the wasp ships, but the wasp ships are pouring out of the hive itself, and they're highly more maneuverable. They're not nearly as armed as the scout spiders, but they're much quicker, at like almost easily twice as fast. And at the current moment, it's kind of hard to tell which way the battle will fall. But you zip your way over to the Flight of the Living Dead, and you find yourself, the Chester, zipping down close to what is a decent-sized ship. It's not nearly as large as a galleon. You would know. Let me get to...
Because I've seen his ship on the moon.
You
before.
have, yes. You have definitely seen his ship multiple times before. You would know that this ship is, instead of a central mast, it has a treant that forms the mast itself. This treant is a dead treant. Like it is an undead treant that has been brought back to life and controls the ship itself. So that is their jammer, is the treant that controls the entire ship.
Like an actual int?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
But that is the central command structure of the ship itself. And as you zip down close, you see the pale figure of Octavian Crimson on the deck. Looks like he's in full battle regalia. This like kind of like, I would very picture it similar to Daedric armor from Skyrim, where it's got like these large like sweeping spikes, this dark black obsidian kind of color to it with a red undertone between all the gaps of the armor. And he looks like a warlord standing on it, his hand perched on his rapier that sits at his side, and he waves over to you in a very friendly manner.
I land.
Okay. You land on the deck of his ship. The deck of his ship is a flurry of motion of all of the different individuals that you would well know are his crew, the undead that constitute the entire crew. The ogres, the zombies, the skeletons are rushing about the deck, preparing weapons. You see Antonia.
They're rushing or dragging?
Same thing. You see Antonia standing or surfaces and stands next to Octavian herself and looks like she whispers something in his ear before she goes back down beneath the deck. She only surfaces for a very short amount of time before she disappears. You walk over and Octavian greets you with a smile and he says, "I see you have got my message. As you can tell, I've gotten myself into a predicament. I think we have a common enemy."
I did not know you were allies with the Neogi to begin with.
Tentative allies is easily the best way to put it. They're resourceful. I'm sorry you've had bad dealings with them before.
How'd you know I was on Tebos?
It was the talk of the town.
Nobody knows.
I mean,
We literally didn't tell anybody.
you told Tantum, did you not?
No, actually, I don't think we told them we were going to Tebos.
You literally told them you were setting up a resistance.
Mm-hmm. But we were going to check out planets. We never gave them location yet for this reason. And I can remember specifically saying, for this reason, that I did not say planet names.
I mean, regardless of where, even if I did not know where you were at, I was here this whole time. And that's just above table.
This whole time, have you not been on?
It's a happenstance that I find you here. He points back towards the moon behind him. Welcome to what I would consider my home base. The one that I have set up on Raftport, that's more of an extension. But this is where I've operated for centuries now.
So you're being attacked.
You could say that. By somebody that I believe you have just as much of beef with.
Yeah, I would say that, but I do not have the firepower right now to go to battle with that.
Correct, you do not have the firepower. Where is the Starhammer?
On its way, but it's not here at the moment.
Good. Okay, and how quickly is it going to be here?
Like 12 hours. It left this morning.
Good. Certainly you can be of some help here. Right. Listen, I'll be honest, I'm desperate at this point. I need your help, Karson. This is more than... What we are defending here is my life's work.
And what is that?
Taking down the Ascanari. There is so much more on the tables that we need to discuss, that I have held from you, waiting on a certain favor.
But alas, you never delivered me the Ascanari jammer that I wished. But this here is just as good of a favor, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, I would say this is much more than that favor.
Which is why I'm willing to lay it all on the table. As you're looking up at the sky above you, you see the hive of activity above you, jammers zipping back and forth, the destruction of a few ships already, their wreckage kind of floating throughout the air. You see more and more wasps pouring from the hive, more and more spiders rising up from the moon. You see one dark crater in general where you see several of them pouring out from to join and refill up the ranks of Octavian's small army. All of them are these scout spider ships. There are a few of the night spiders, the larger ones. But you'd take a guess that it is a very sizable force of Neogi versus a a very sizable force of the Surans that are attacking at the current moment. The armies look fairly evenly matched, and the fight is well in swing at this point.
Look, Octavian, my hands are tied.
I know you're doing plenty, whatever it is down there on Tebos.
But I have no big firepower to bring to your aid right now.
Firepower I don't need.
What do you need?
I need that thing taken care of. Pointing at the hive ship.
You want me to jump on that thing?
Isn't that what you do?
I do a lot of things, Octavian.
I need something to turn my tide.
I need a promise from you.
Which is, I've told you everything.
You'll uphold your word.
On my honor, on my life, on Antonia's life.
She's dead.
She's still alive to me. I'm dead as well.
But that doesn't mean that you can swear on someone's life.
I can swear on whatever ties her to life.
You.
Sadly, no.
You're wonderful magic.
Not my magic.
That's interesting, but that's a conversation for another time. Okay, fine.
I'm telling you, everything you need to know about me, about what I've been doing for the last 1800 years, I will tell you. Take care of that.
Step back into the Chester, grab the top, and I said, out of the frying pan into the fryer, and I shut it, and I go off.
Sweet. Right into my trap. What? I didn't say nothing.
I go back to Tebos and say, you're right, this is a fight for somebody else. Gosh darn it. Freaking Octavian.
So as you jump back into the Chester, where exactly were you heading? Were you back to Tebos, or are you staying out?
I low-key had this thought of just trying to do this by myself. But I feel like that would be when I would die.
When you don't have a cleric walking around with you is probably not the absolute best of ideas there.
So I will zip it back down. And I land as close to Zage and Reef for working on the swordfish as I can.
Yep.
I hop out. Is that thing done yet?
Well, I mean, it's just about done. We've got to put a few touches on here. We've got a couple of screws loose.
So it can't fly?
It can fly. Don't tell me.
What percentage are we at right now?
Zage scoots himself out from underneath and he says, we're probably looking at about 96%.
Damn, that's pretty darn good for me. Look, Octavian just sent me a message. He is being attacked and swarmed by Siran up on the moon. right now.
Saran, as in...
The Saran that we fought on Vishutar, he has, lo and behold, some working deal with the Nyogi. A massive space battle happening at the moment. They have a massive mothership where all these Saran are coming from. Octavian put on the table that I will learn everything about the Ascanari elves if we help him.
You're trying to help Octavian and the Nyogi?
Yeah, when you put it that way, I don't have a good answer for you, Zage. This is just on the table.
Oh, man. I hate making decisions. Yeah. My resources are at your disposal. I trust your judgment, Karson. You've gotten us this far.
I'm gonna need the 2 best pilots that I know.
Well, you're looking at him. What are you getting us into?
Hell.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all you're going with. Just,
Zage, can this fly successfully? You feel confident?
I'm 100% confident it can fly.
I'll be back. And I turn and run.
We'll get ready.
I grab Pizor and I grab all 4 automatons.
Okay, awesome.
And I return.
Four automatons, Pizor, return within moments. As you come back, you can see that they have cleared all the debris and spare parts. There's a few panels missing, so the armor class is going to suffer just a hair. But otherwise, the sailfish is getting ready to alight from its first flight here on Tebos. You catch up, or Pizor catches up to you, and he's like, "What is going on? What are we doing?"
Octavian needs our help.
He stops dead in his tracks. What?
Quit. Let's go.
You're going to explain yourself.
Yeah, on the way up there. Let's go.
As he's charging behind you.
We start to load up into the swordfish. Look, he promised all information that we would need.
And that is worth it.
Yes.
You make deals with the devil.
We're not making the deals with the devil, but we're also potentially saving anything that all of our other ships that are coming in here as well.
No kidding. What is going on up there?
It's better we show you.
And as you can, if you look into the sky right now, it's closing in on dusk, right? There's still some light that stretches across the skies, but you can see small fireworks exploding up in the night sky between you and the moon. What is going on?
A battle like nothing I've ever seen before.
Great. So, a battle like nobody's seen before.
Oh. Let's go.
You have to, as he jumps on.
You don't.
I'd be lying if I said this was a choice.
Do these doors shut?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And she kicks out a little wrench that was propping it open, and it slides shut.
Grab on the thing. Let's
The
go.
two, essentially on either side of the sailfish, so it looks exactly like a gigantic marlin. As you guys are loading onto it, you can see the sword at the very beginning start to extend. It collapses down, and it and extends into this long javelin. The actual hatch is like a gigantic fish head hinged up above the top of the thing. And as Zage and Arifa take their spots, the entire portion slides back down on them, and you can see them sitting just within the eye sockets that look like 2 turrets, just on the other sides of them. Not actually in the turrets themselves; those are for gunnery positions, but you can see them just on the insides.
2 of the automatons get in.
Yep.
Not Hack.
Okay.
Hack is going to get off with me.
Okay, so perfect. We'll just call it Ben and Ada hop into the gunnery seats. The rest of you hop into what is like large sliding cargo van doors on the side, kind of very similar to the troop transports from Star Wars, where you jump in, handles hanging off the side. There's not really a lot of space for much of anything else except for probably about 10 people total back here. And then other than that, you guys are off and away. The moment Zage and Arifa sit into the pilot seat, you feel the entire ship take flight, and you hear both of their voices chime out in kind of like an echoing monotone voice between the two of them, tied together, and they say, "Ready for takeoff." And next thing you know, the sailfish takes to the skies
For our first flight.
for the very first flight.
Into battle.
Straight into an absolute swarm of mess in the skies above you. By the time that you guys get back up there, it is an all-out brawl. There are scorpion, or not scorpion ships. Scorpions are your guys's. There are wasp ships that are absolutely overcoming the force of the spider ships, as those are slowly starting to still pour up from the moon. Another night spider has taken up to the skies and joined in with them, and you see the flight of the living dead kind of zipping in and out of the entire combat, taking out people individually one at a time with large arcane blasts. You see back towards the hive, there are small explosions where blasts have been hurled at it itself, and they just bounce straight off the side of the armor, seeming to do no impact. As you take a close look at the hive, you notice at the very top of it bristles like thorns with ballistas, and the bottom side is just 12 ports, large cavities where wasp ships keep dropping out of, and occasionally they'll go back within. Outside of that, the battle is pure chaos. It's hard to track who's winning, who's losing, because there is just madness everywhere. Space debris floats about. Occasionally, you'll see the body of a Suran or a Neogi floating lifeless through the vast emptiness of space. Arcane bursts color the skies. It's pure silence in a battle with no sound. But your direction, where is that going to be?
Zage, the reefer, drop us off somewhere at a good spot, not to put you in harm's danger. We'll work our way through the ship, try to dismantle it in some fashion. Be careful.
Zage's voice comes back.
Drop you off? What do you mean? We're in space.
Drop me off on the big ship.
On that thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hazel and I are clearing it.
Okay. With that in mind, the sailfish immediately starts to veer off in that direction and begins to dodge in and out of the massive fight that's going on just outside. And with that, we're going to call the episode right there
Ay, caramba.
and pick up on episode 62 with a massive space battle. So, thank you guys so much for joining us here for episode 61. We have made it thus far, and we've got so much further to go. So,
Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, see you back Wednesday. See you on a Saturday or any other day of the week if you really love us. See ya.